Hi everyone, how are you guys? This is Deb with Four Seasons Crafts. So we are going to start with by making an additional card from the June 2026 paper pumpkin. So we're going to make an alternative, and I just want to show you first, these are the cards that come in the kit and are put together. So you can see they are just all beautiful all on their own. So what I'm going to do is actually show you more of a card you can make using the stamp set, as well as Stampin' Up! For the next three. So the three next paper pumpkins, June, July, August, you can use, oops, sorry for the glare there. It is this, what is that called? Oh, detailed flora dies. So these are the dies that come in the package. So you get a couple sets of leaves, flowers, and then a nice stitch circle die. So I am going to use some of these. Now the card I'm going to show you today is the one that I am giving away. So if you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin through me, then every month that you purchase, I will send you an envelope to make 2 additional cards using that stamp set. So anyhow, so that's what we're going to make today. But these are the ones that came in the kit. And again, they're absolutely beautiful. As you can see, they have that kind of metal, like silver in them. And these are the envelopes, and they are gorgeous. Hopefully, oops. So there's like a little box here with lines, and each one has a different color lid. So just adorable. I like them all. These are cute cards, and they have some nice sayings. You know, one is just have a lovely day. Thank you. And I don't know what let me see. We'll show you the other ones if I can. I have a couple of the stamps already out. So you have best wishes, thank you, and then have a lovely day. And excuse me, let me pull in a piece of paper that we're going to use here. So you can see you have some flowers here, some butterflies, and then a single butterfly. So many cute, just kind of miniature stamps, I guess, that you can embellish with, which is great. All right, so the 2 stamps we're going to be using is the bicycle stamp here, and then we're also going to use have a lovely day. So those are the 2 stamps that we're going to be stamping with. And then for our alternative card, the ink that we're going to use is not Calypso Coral, is what came with the stamps, with the paper pumpkin. Obviously, it's a little, you know, just like an ink spot, like typical. But we're actually going to use Secret Sea, Pretty in Pink, Melon Mambo, and Lemon Lolly. And I will show you, if you decide to use just Calypso Coral, what you can do, because you might not have some of those other ink colors. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So what you're going to get in your kit, again, if you are a subscriber, and I'm sending you the supplies to make 2 of this one card, you're gonna get some Melon Mambo cardstock for our base, and this is Flirty Flamingo. And then we have a piece of some basic white. Now the measurements, this is 3 inches by 5.5. This is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then this piece we don't need. And then I just have a label die. So you can use any label that you have. This one actually came from, if you guys remember, On Display, I think it was called. And it's the one that was the bookcase. And then you had all these different stamps and dies of all these little elements. Well, when you die cut out the bookshelf, all these little pieces came out. They are perfect for labels. Now, I don't know if those dies are still available on the Last Chance, but that's where it was. And it was pretty inexpensive. And I tell you, I think it's well worth it, because if you ever make a little card and you want all these little pieces, I don't know, I think it was great. All right, then the other piece you need is a piece of 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. And this is for the inside of the card. And then what I did was I die cut out some of, using that small die set. You do the leaves, you do run the die through once and you get 2 separate ones. And then a big leaf for the inside of the card. And then I ran through with Lemon Lolly, I ran the flowers through, and then in Pretty in Pink, I ran the flowers through. And so I have all these different little elements. So basically what you get are the 2 flowers, and then you get these 2 inside pieces like that. So, oops, so let me get this so you can see. So you get 2 flowers, and then you get these kind of different colored ones that you can put in the middle of the flowers. So that's why I did the 2 different shades. And I've already glued those together, just FYI, to kind of save us time. So you can see this one. Oh, I got a bunch of ink on my fingers. So this one you can see is the flower, and then it's got the little pink center. Okay, so that's what we have for our pieces. So let's go ahead and put our card together. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take this piece of white, and we're going to take these 3 different colors here and stamp 3 bicycles along this edge. Now you could stamp more actually and do them kind of opposite directions if you would like. Now, one of the things that I have found is I'm going to start with this Lemon Lolly because when I did a darker color first and then I cleaned my stamp, then I did Lemon Lolly, I just didn't get the brightness that I wanted. So just something to think about. And I washed, I cleaned the stamp, but I probably wasn't very thorough enough. So we're just going to start out with lemon. And I'm going to put this one actually at the top because I want to give you a different look than the first card I did. All right, so there we go. And basically I'm just going to do the three different colors. Now let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit. Not that you need to see this too close up, but if you were using, and I'll show you, so let me go ahead, let's go ahead and we'll stamp the other ones. So now I'm going to use Pretty in Pink and do the same thing. I'm going to just stamp this one right below the other one. Again, we're just going to put them in a nice row here. And then we have Melon Mambo. Sometimes you guys, I think I press like this one looks a little more almost watery. And I think sometimes it's when I press it too much, or I just cleaned my sham, and sometimes I wonder if I have a little too much water or something on it. Okay, so let me go ahead and put this darker color on, and we'll put this one right below. And look at that. So kind of cool. Don't be too concerned about getting everything so exact with lining it up. It doesn't really matter that much. Okay, now I had a piece of this white that I wasn't using, so let me just show you. If you for some reason don't have all the ink colors, but you have the one that came with your paper pumpkin kit, so this is Calypso Coral. What you could do is ink this up pretty good. And of course, we're only going to see part of this image, but that's okay. Depending on the order you want to go, I'm going to start with a dark stamp. Then I'm going to stamp it again. And I'm going to stamp, and this, I'm not getting a good like color on this of this ink. But all I wanted to show you was you got the dark, kind of medium, and then you can see it's real light. So you could just do that. You could just do, generational stamping, I think is what the technique name is. But it's basically you just stamp the image 3 times. And it will just continue to get lighter. So that is something you could also do. So if you don't have multiple colors, just do the same color, but just you're stamping it 3 times on the paper. All right, so we are done with that. This we'll just put off to the side. And I think we're okay to keep this. Now, let's go ahead and actually finish our stamping. Sometimes I can get a little distracted. So we're gonna take our label here and we're gonna get out our Secret C. And we're gonna stamp the sentiment right on the left-hand side. So you're just gonna line it up and stamp it on the left-hand side here. I am loving the Secret C, I have to say. I really do. Oops, that is let's see. I'm just gonna stamp the other side, see if I can get it a little better. There we go. And let's see if I can get this lined up a little better. There we go. Oh yeah, I think that's a little better. The nice thing about those, you know, they're kind of like byproducts from the stamp, is they have no ridges or anything, so it looks the same on both sides. If you need to, you know, fix your mistake. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this piece, but we are gonna tack it down or glue it down just at an angle. All right, so we're not gonna make it so it's exactly lined up. We're gonna do it at a slight angle. Now, if you don't like things to look a little off, then maybe you might want to put it the other way. But for our case, we're gonna just make it so it's a little bit off there. Okay, now we're gonna take some linen thread because this kit I shouldn't say that. It came with some linen thread. So you probably will have some left over that you can use. So I'm just gonna wrap this around several times and make a loop and tie it in a bow here on the side. And that is going to be our bow. There we go. And we wanna have a few little kind of tails here. There we go. All right, and now what we're gonna do is we are gonna take it and put it up on dimensionals. Now you will, oh, you know what I forgot? One thing, I forgot a piece of lemon lolly. So let me go and grab that real quickly. And the cutting. We need a piece of lemon lolly. So we're gonna take this and let's do this at 4 1/4. Yeah, we have this because we have one more thing we have to stamp. You know those butterflies I was telling you about? Well, we are gonna use them. So we're gonna take this 1 inch by 4 1/4. And we're gonna do just a little bit more stamping here on this piece of yellow. I can't believe I forgot it. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna use this Pretty in Pink again. And let's go ahead, oops, let's go ahead and get the little butterflies out. All right, now there's 2 sets. We're gonna actually use these now. The other card I'm gonna show you, I use this single butterfly, but we're gonna use these double butterflies. Now, I haven't used this stamp yet, so I'm just gonna take it out and stamp it a couple times. And that's gonna give me a good, just a good clean image when I go to stamp it on my paper. All right, so I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna do this stamping pretty much just along the edge. So it can go, you know, sideways, up and down. Doesn't really matter. And it doesn't have to be on the whole piece. Like that is more than enough of the butterflies, because we're only going to show a little bit of that edge, but we'll make sure we have more more than we need. So there we go. Okay, so we'll move this out of the way. All right, we couldn't forget that. All right, so before we put this piece down, we want this piece of lemon lolly just to go straight across our card. And I don't want it exactly in the center. I want it about a third of the way down. So about there. Now you want it to line up where your ribbon is. So you might need to move this down just a tad. Okay, so this is all going to be our focal point right here. This middle, kind of this middle area. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere this down first. And we're just going to use regular adhesive. Guys, I really like the liquid glue and I just didn't get it out in time here. A new one. The one I was using is done. All right, now I'm going to bring this back over and just make sure I still have kind of that focal point there, which I do. May have done this one just a little lower, but okay, so now on this piece, I am going to put dimensionals on the back here. Now you get dimensionals in this kit, so you should have some left over. They're the smaller ones, but I think you'll have plenty that you can use for these extra cards, which is always a great thing. Use it up, right? All right, so now we're going to take these off and let's go ahead and all right, and now we will add this right on to the center. So we're just lining it up on the left and the right. Oops. So I hope you guys are getting ready for a wonderful 4th of July. Looking forward to seeing all the different celebrations around the country. That's going to be really neat. All right, now we've already stamped our sentiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put 2 dimensionals on the far side. Okay, so let's grab 2 more of these. And we just want them to go, we don't want to be able to see them, but we want to get them as close to the far end as possible. And now we can just line that right up here. So let me just make sure I'm not putting them. So what you want to do is make sure that they're not on, you don't need it like exact, right? It doesn't have to be exactly where that lines up. So it just depends, but I don't want it on that middle part. Okay, oops. And you know what? I failed to put, we're going to put a little adhesive right here. Okay, so this part, because this is popped up, we need this little end part here to be popped up. Okay, so that's why we need 2 dimensionals here to keep this all even. And then we have our, this will be glued down. All right, so now we're ready to put in our beautiful flowers over here on the side. So what we're going to do is this is going to require just a little bit of tape, or if you have some Tombow glue, that's what I would suggest you use. It's just a little bit of glue, adhesive, like the Tombow liquid glue. All right, so we're going to put that right about there. I think I got that. And then I have these little flowers. So I am going to actually use, I think I'll do the yellow one here and then the pink one like that. So, because I want you to see a couple different ways of doing this. All right, so I'm going to turn these over and we're going to add some adhesive right in the center. Oops, I think I got this. Now, if I wanted to, as well, and maybe, I don't know if I can get a, yeah, I think we'll just make sure we have enough adhesive on that. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to put this one down first. And then I'll cover this one right here. But you could also pop one of those up on dimensionals as well. All right, so let me just back out a little bit here. If I can, go back to our original size. Nope, I don't think I can. That's okay. All right, so here we go. So this is, oh, let's do the inside too. Sorry, let's do that. So we're going to take this piece here and we're just going to adhere it to the inside of our card, just right in the center. I am loving these smaller inside pieces, you guys, because you can get 8 of them from one piece of cardstock. Instead of only getting, 4, you can get 8. And sometimes we don't always have enough to say that requires a full piece of white cardstock. So this you get to see more of the pretty paper. All right, so then I just added that leaf down there. Now I have these extra flowers actually, so I could conceivably put one of those down there at the bottom as well, which I will because they're extra. The other thing, oops, did I just put that? No, I thought I put it on the wrong side. I'm like, that wouldn't be very good, would it? All right, we'll just put that right there. Something else you guys could do if you wanted, if you didn't want to do the small piece, you could do, like some little dots inside the flower like that. And, do that instead if you wanted to kind of decorate a little bit. So there you have it, you guys. This is the alternative that I've come up with for the June 2026 paper pumpkin. But and then this is one I did earlier, and you'll see they're just very similar. This one I did the colors in a different order, and you'll notice this is what happened. I got more of like an orangey, like a peach color, instead of that lemon lolly color, because I just don't think I cleaned the stamp well enough. But that is it. We have the flowers and the twine. So you should be able, you'll get a kit again in the mail to make 2 of these. And again, you can make one that's just only using Calypso Coral, just 3 different, you just stamp it 3 times. All right, and just a reminder, these are what the cards look like that came in the kit, and they are just so fun. Oh, that's the extra envelope, and then there's this one here. So I love the kits, the cards that came in the kit. I think you could just make those just like they are, and they're just beautiful. And if you wanted to get, more use, like more cards, you could cut these in half and then use this side as a base, or as, like a layer, and then maybe stamp the bike or something like that. Or even maybe, cut the bike a little bit more and do parts of it on each side of the card. So lots of options still with these. But like I said, I liked how they look. They're so cheery and so summery. So I hope you guys like this. I hope you like the alternative, and I will put these for sure, the link to the video, the unboxing video of that Stampin' Up! Puts out on how to make these cards. But again, if you're interested, love to have you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. It is a fun little box that comes in the mail every month. It really is a nice surprise. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining, and we will talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.